Okay, we'll just start over then. Welcome to Bad Pipes Podcast. I'm Andrew. With me is Scott. All right, so this week, one of us was supposed to have watched all of Baki, and yet this week, only one of us has still watched all of Baki. So instead, I wanted to talk about some recent internet drama loosely revolving around anime. How do you feel about that?
Some drama around anime?
Yeah.
What's the drama?
Are you familiar with semi-internet famous political streamer Vaush?
Yeah, his Loli stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, so since Scott knows, for our listeners, all three of you, this dude Vaush. All right.
Yes, he is a streamer, like political streamer personality, video games and whatnot. From what I understand, apparently he was on stream opening up some folders, and he happened to open up a folder containing. Is it lolicon? Is that the full
the
term?
Is a lolicon.
Yeah.
And not to get too graphic, but it was like horses having intercourse with small women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of a complaint I've had historically with anime, is that
learning some freak shit.
Well, you'll be watching a show because you read the thing and you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. It's about like a 300-year-old vampire and a fucking dude who doesn't know what he's doing or something.
Yeah.
And so you start watching it, and then like the 300-year-old vampire looks like a 10-year-old girl, and you're like, oh, dude, what the fuck? And then like,
yeah,
it's just like overtly sexual, the tension between the two characters, and you're like, this is fucking gross. Like, it's gross. And like it ruins a lot of anime for me.
Yeah. It's some weird freak shit.
Yeah. So like a lot of the times I see that kind of shit, and I'll like first episode I'm like, all right, not watching this one.
Yeah.
I think it's why I tend to go back to like more so anime that's just like classic kind of stuff rather than like trying to find new shit, just because I'm like, I don't want to fucking get like 4 episodes into something and then it be fucking weird, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we even talked about this not recently, but like within the last year or so with that. God, what was that show on Netflix? It was like Heavy Metal something. No, not Heavy Metal. It was like, I don't know. Do you remember what show I was talking about?
I'm not certain, no.
Can't remember off the top of my head. Oh well. Anyway, the gist of the show is like this teenage girl had to kiss like a 6-year-old boy to turn him into like this ancient necromancer evil dude who was like, I don't know, but like the whole fucking setup for the thing is like weird, and you're like, why did I do this?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, there is some really fucking weird. I mean, culturally, they're just into that weird shit. A lot of times.
I mean, shit. Even like classic ones, like Evangelion, the end of Evangelion movie, where he like fucking jerks off in the hospital, is like, what the fuck, man? Like, why is this here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just frustrating. So, like, Loli, gross. All right. And then, like, the hentai shit, which I think is, like, lolicon or whatever, still fucking gross.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation with Vaush is kind of like a little more complex, right? Because historically, he has made comments, right? Like, under communism, almost certainly the age of consent would be lower. That's nearly
Weird.
verbatim quote.
Such weird shit.
He has also made arguments that, like, a sexual relationship between an adult and an underage individual can be like a healthy thing, even for the person who's underage. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, no.
How has this dude gone on for so long saying shit like this on the internet?
Yeah.
And then to kind of like cap this off, he recently was saying something was like, the thing about anime is that it attracts people on the far right because of things like Loli and other like trad wife type thing. Like, dude, if you listen to him talk, it's the most like disingenuous, like bad faith takes on like everything.
Yeah.
And like, this is just like the fucking keystone that finally fell out and like the arch has fallen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he makes all these comments about like, alt-right people like lollies because they're fucking easily manipulatable, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then like accidentally opens a fucking thing on his computer, and what does he have? Like files full of fucking
Yeah, you got that freak shit.
yeah. So like, I don't know. It's just like the hypocrisy of it, I guess, is what's kind of the salt on this juicy little morsel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's why. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. It's just a thing that happened.
No,
It's
that
gross.
is like,
it's hypocritical. It's disappointing.
It is, yeah. I mean, I've never been a fan of his. I've never even really watched his stuff. I think I don't even know if Charlie covered it. Moist Critical covered it. I can't remember how I found out. Actually, it might have been on Twitter. Might have been people like posting.
Destiny fucking cooked his ass over it.
Yeah.
Because like when you're talking about like the holy trinity of leftist commentators or political commentary, it's like Vaush, Hassan, and Destiny.
Yeah.
And I remember like probably a year or so ago, Ludwig, another pretty big streamer, did a thing where he was like comparing the overlap in people's like fan bases, and Destiny's fan base has like the greatest overlap with like every other fan base, which is really interesting. Like, Destiny is a huge streamer and he's not even on Twitch. And I guess him, Vaush, and Hassan used to all be like very friendly. But Vaush did some like childish shit and kind of like turned his back on this Destiny guy, and then dude, he came out with the fucking dagger.
Yeah. I saw him getting cooked from everyone. Because I think even Hassan had referred to him as a debate pedo, and people were just kind of like, well, probably not what he meant, but he kind of hit it on the nose.
Yeah.
So he was just getting cooked by everyone, and yeah, rightfully so. That's I don't know, yeah, weird freak shit.
Yeah, everyone's been calling him like a horse fucker and all kinds of shit online. Yeah. So
yeah, I was like, it's even like you took it a step further. Like the lolly stuff's bad enough, but then you have some like even weirder fetish type shit going on there. That was like fuck, I can't remember. There was like an anime I remember people were saying was like really good. It even might have been Jake who was like saying it was really good. And the concept seemed cool, but then it was like the characters are like these like lolis are like children. Now I don't know if there's any like weird stuff going on in it. I can't fucking remember. This is a long time ago. I want to say it was the concept of it was that like they live like outside of this like giant hole in the earth that hasn't been explored, and it's all about like going down and exploring it. There's like a whole ecosystem below the earth or something. I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure like all the characters are like, is it Made in Abyss? I think it is Made in Abyss.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't get why if you have a cool idea for, oh, you know what's funny?
What?
You search Made in Abyss, and like one of the first things it asks is like, what is the Made in Abyss controversy?
Yeah.
Despite holding a massive fan base, Made in Abyss has become rather controversial for its recurring presentation and themes of child torture, abuse, rape, and experimentation by the anime's villain.
Yeah, it's like it's like something like this that has like a major fan base and people recommend it all the time, and it's got weird shit. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
There's even like forums and stuff where they talk about the mangaka, like the guy who writes it, being like basically a shameless pedophile.
Yeah. It's just gross. It's just fucking gross.
But at the same time, there's a lot of good anime out there, such as Baki.
Baki.
A
very good one.
Lots of half-naked dudes fighting.
Yeah.
One of the things I could only think about while watching this is about if you need to, Andrew, if you need to make a confession right now, you can do that. You're the guy who wrote this, right? Like, these are your drawings.
God, I fucking wish.
These
I could draw this good.
These bring me straight back to high school. And all the dudes you used to draw. You were ahead of the game here.
All right, so anyone who doesn't know, the show Baki, all right, the protagonist, Baki Hanma, this is coming from IMDb, trains with an intense focus to become strong enough to surpass his father, Yujiro Hanma, the strongest fighter in the world. The thing about it, though, is that everyone in this show, like, the art style is drawn to be just, like, graphically muscular.
They're, like, every dude in this show is not even just, like, insanely ripped. Here's the thing, and I think it's hilarious. You have there's one or two types of guys in this. There are tall and short kings. You have nothing in between. You're either like insanely tall and freakishly large, or you're like Baki, or like what's the dude's name?
So like Baki's kind of short because he's Japanese. His dad is like a head taller than him.
Yeah. Then you have like Dopo Orochi, who's like this short but fucking
badass. There's a question. Are you watching?
I'm watching the dub.
Subbed or dubbed?
I'm watching the dub.
Oh yeah. So Dopo Orochi is voiced by the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Bloom.
Yeah. So, if we want to take an aside for sub and dub stuff here, I typically nowadays so everyone has always made the argument of oh, subs better, and I think maybe you had an argument back in the past before there
Yeah, I
was
think in
the
like
resources.
the 90s,
Yeah,
like shows from the 90s that still have the original like subs
yeah,
or the original dub, you might want to watch
trash.
it like with the subs
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, because very much like they definitely didn't have the resources to make sure that they were translating properly and had good voice actors. But like nowadays, you have so much money thrown into these to like have good voice actors. Like like watching the dub of this, I was like, damn, they really like they some of these voice actors, like the English voice actors, fucking like they got some deep raspy like manly voices.
Oh yeah, like everyone in the show has like a solid voice. There's no like
Yeah.
a half-ass
Well,
performance.
and the thing I like about the English dub is because this is an anime where it takes place in our world, and you have like from the premise, you have the five convicts who come to try to taste defeat, and they're trying to come for Baki to lose a fight. You have like the American convicts, you have like the Russian guy. Like the thing about the English dub is you can get those like the dialects, you can get the accents in there.
Yeah.
Very well.
And even like the old man that like runs the tournament, the little dude, he's got that sort of like kind of southern accent.
He does, yeah. No, yeah, he does.
Baki, what are you doing?
Do you know what I didn't realize? I think until today is, I believe Spec, the first opponent that really comes in there to fight. I believe, is he a Florida man?
Is he a Florida man?
Because it's mentioned here the prison he escaped from is a Florida State prison.
Oh hell yeah!
So I believe he is. So he escaped.
The dude that like blows everything up.
So no, he's the one down in the giant submarine. Apparently, it is a Florida State prison located 200 meters underwater in a giant submarine.
God.
So, and he does have that southern accent.
You know what? I did not know that Troy Baker voiced Baki.
I didn't know that either.
Damn, dude, they got a good cast for this.
Yeah. Solid.
But yeah, so he's a Florida man. And what's his specialization again?
What was his thing? He was like, God, I can't remember. I feel like that was so long ago now. His apnea rush, where he could just like attack for 5 minutes without breathing, because he trained like on the submarine to escape. He had trained like in like exercise and worked out while holding his breath for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And that way he was able to bust out of the submarine and swim up from like the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Dude, he's 7'3".
Dude, it's yeah.
Spec
What a
is
guy.
a bald, tattooed elderly man who appears to be in his 50s, although he is actually 97 years old.
Yeah, that was after he's beaten. The doctors are like tending to him. They're like, "This dude's actually 97."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, I just love the characters in this. You got, like him, like all of the bad guys are like really fucking menacing,
and they're all done like really well to where they're all so different. Like they escaped these different situations all themselves. They have their own fighting styles. Because like so far in the story, like basically I'm on the third. Like we're now kind of in the part of
dude,
is it Skarovsky? Sikorsky. Sikorsky is who they're now like going.
A category page on the Baki wiki for brute force users, which apparently includes like Spec, Biscuit Oliver, Hector Doyle, Sikorsky, and Hanayama.
Yeah.
And then you haven't met him yet, but Pickle too. But Pickle makes sense because
his name's just Pickle.
Yes.
I'm excited to meet him.
Dude, Pickle is fucking great.
Now I'm excited.
You got a bit of distance to cover before you get to Pickle.
Yeah. Well, I will be going through it. Where? So, because we have 2 Americans in this, right? The other one is
So Spec goes berserk. Doyle is like a weapons expert. He's turned his body into a weapon, and he's like got concealed weapons.
Yeah.
Sikorsky is this like dude that can has incredible endurance, can like hang on to a ledge for.
Yeah, Dorian's the other one. So yeah, because the 2 Americans are the ones who get beaten first. Spec and then Dorian. Yeah, because Spec is pretty much beaten and then detained. They arrest him again. Dorian basically gets brain broken after he like menaces all of the was it Shinshinkai members. He just like has a straight up like his entire arc is just like involved with just absolutely going after all those guys. And then yeah, I really enjoyed his arc because of the way it ended, where like essentially he goes brain broken because he realizes he just has never actually won a fight off of any sort of merit or his own like actual ability or skill. He always relies on like dirty tricks or like I don't know, just being like underhanded, I guess. Just like
that's so funny because like that thematically comes back into Baki's fight with his dad like way later on.
Yeah, because I guess I kind of thought that's what they were getting at. I went and kind of like read up on Reddit like people's takes on it because it's never really explicitly stated. That is kind of like where people are leaning, is that like he basically realized that like he's just not a good, like he's never, like it says, he's never won a fight, and he really hasn't on his own. Like he's got to always, everything is some sort of trickery. Because like even Dopo Orochi, the only way he like beats him or gets an upper hand on him is literally having that explosive hidden in his fucking right hand that after he escapes the hospital, he just face palms him and blows his face to shreds.
Yeah. Is that Orochi or is that Hanayama? Like, what happens to Hanayama again for like his fucking cheeks to get blown out?
Oh, Hanayama. So Hanayama was Spec. Hanayama and Spec were fighting. And I can't remember. So what did Spec do to Hanayama?
I thought there was something like sticking a grenade in his mouth or something.
Oh yeah, I think it was something like that. Let me see. Yeah, because that's
Hanayama is the 19-year-old leader of the Yakuza.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny their ages. Yeah, Spec attempts to kill Hanayama by shooting him in the mouth. But Hanayama turns his face so the bullet passes through his cheek, almost like how Spec is first introduced, where he takes the gun, he just like shoots himself through the cheek like a bunch of times.
Okay, yeah.
And it's after that Hanayama uses the vice grip to basically crush his windpipe.
Yeah.
Our good old Florida man.
God, dude. And like the fights, like the whole presentation of like techniques and things in this show is like so interesting because I think it's Dopo Orochi who's like karate chopping someone's head like against the pavement at one point, and it's talking about how like it's not the initial hit, it's like the bounce off of the secondary surface or whatever, which is like actually doing the real damage. And
Yeah.
like it'll, especially early on, it'll like tell you some stuff that's like some legit fighting stuff. But then like as the show goes on, it gets so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like the little asides that they take just get like progressively more insane, right?
Oh yeah. No, even just like Yanagi with his what did he call it? Basically, just like using oxygen to fucking incapacitate his opponents, just like putting his hand over their mouths or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like we haven't gotten him yet, except for like where he ambushed Baki at his like high school, and he like essentially defeats him there.
That's the Japanese guy, right?
Yeah.
And he does the poison palm stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it is called the poison palm.
Yeah.
Because poison hand. Because he asks like Baki like, oh, what's the most like poisonous gas in existence? To which it ends up no matter what you guess, it ends up being oxygen.
Yeah.
So he uses that to knock out his opponents.
Yeah, his shit gets pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So you are like through the first arc, right?
Yeah. So I'm through part 1.
So you're into part 2. What are you thinking so far about like part 1?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. It's interesting. It's it definitely has like an older art style and an older like anime feel to it. And then just a very interesting concept that it doesn't feel like it's not. It doesn't feel like I'm pretty sure it's not classified as a shonen, right? I'm pretty sure it's classified whatever the like young men's. Because there's like shonen and there's shoujo, which like shonen is young boy, shoujo is young girl, and there's like the anime geared more towards like the children in Japan of the different.
I don't know. I always thought that shonen was just like Shonen Jump, was where it came from.
Oh yeah, so apparently it specifically refers to like shonen is young boy, shoujo is young girl, and there's like classifications for like more mature, like the more mature, like anime. Can't remember what it's called though.
I don't know. Kind of funny. On the IMDb page, for some reason, I have like the German trailer for Baki, but it's all in Japanese.
Huh.
So they're speaking Japanese, but then it has like the German subtitles.
Nice.
Ich spiele gegen dich kämpfen. Oh, wie schon ist es Deutsch? Oh god. Anyway, kind of surprising. 8.5 thousand people rated this on IMDb. It has a 6.8 out of 10. That's almost a 7. Now, if you go to Google, though, Baki has like a what? Oh god, I just got lost. Baki has like a 96%.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it so far. It really is just like,
So it's kind of
something
funny
different.
because it kind of like it has its own sense of humor, right?
Mhm.
And if you're watching it just to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch like a fight anime, I feel like very quickly you would be like, I mean, there's definitely better fight anime. But and you'll see this as you progress. Like the show is like hyper self-aware. And it's definitely to some degree a parody of fight anime. And like historically you got shows like, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z, where like the power scaling just gets like out of control immediately.
Yeah.
Like episode 1, you're like shooting an energy ball through 2 people, and the main character like goes to the underworld and has to like train to come back to the living world or whatever, because they got told that some Saiyans are gonna invade like a year from now. And you're just like, what? And they're like flying around and like moving at the speed of light, and like by the time Dragon Ball Z is over, it's like you've got planet killing energy moves and shit like that. And like Baki never gets to that point, but it does get like way more ridiculous, I think, with like kind of I mean, dude, just like some of the characters that they introduce later on, you're like, how is this even real? But like, it's also so aware of like it being necessary to kind of bring in like actual real world fighters to some degree. And they do this with like Muhammad Ali, but they've changed the names slightly so that they're spelled different but sound the same. But you've got like Muhammad Ali, Iron Mike, who would be, you know, Mike Tyson. At one point in, I think, the last arc of Baki Hanma, you have, oh shoot, what's his name? The tiny boxer dude. I think he's Filipino.
Like from Baki or like something else?
Like Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, Manny Pacquiao, yeah.
There's like a Manny Pacquiao type character. God, dude. And like all of these people are like it's just fucking funny. And like you get the joke or you don't get the joke. That's kind of how I explain the show. Is like you watch it, and if you're taking it super fucking seriously, then you probably will be like, oh, this isn't very good. But if you get the fucking joke, then it becomes like one of the truly great, like very, very good animes. Because it does kind of like assume that most of what's happening is like rooted in reality, like rooted in real fighting. But then it goes like cartoonish with it, and it'll get like fucking ridiculous. I'm kind of excited to see what you think of the third arc, so like the final season of that show Baki. Because there's some fights at the Raitai tournament which are just fucking ludicrous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm kind of excited to see that stuff from you. Or with you, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm excited to see like what ends up happening.
Yeah. So how much of Yujiro have you seen?
Just a little bit. So basically, what's his name? The Russian dude, like brought Baki's girlfriend to him, and that was when like Oliver sent in to track him down.
Okay. So that's like arc 2, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the very beginning of arc 2.
So you really haven't seen like anything of his dad then, right?
No.
Damn, that's crazy. His dad's a cool character. I mean, his dad's a cool character because he's a fucking freak. Not a freak like a Vaush freak, but he's just like a...
He's a freak.
He's got extra muscles in his back, so he's got this like weird... his back looks like a demon face, and so people call him the ogre. And I believe in Japanese the word for like ogre and demon is like loosely the same word. It's oni.
Yeah.
So yeah. God, dude.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome already.
Yeah. I'm
So is Oliver.
excited to see. Oh, you like Oliver?
Yeah.
Oliver stays pretty solid.
Yeah. He's fucking this big beefy dude who just gets shit done, and they're pretty much like, yeah, we can't keep you in prison, so we're just gonna hire you as an assassin to bring down other criminals.
They kind of had to balance out all of the like American characters being like not good fighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also love that he's just like the biggest fucking dude.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely fucking massive.
Yeah.
Oh shit, apparently it's gonna snow tomorrow. Yeah, no, good solid anime.
Yeah, it really gets better. We can talk about some other news. Deadpool and Wolverine. Have you seen the trailer for that?
I haven't seen the full trailer. I just saw the teaser.
Yeah, so I saw a trailer for that, finally. Don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
However, it being pretty much, I think, the only Marvel movie coming out this year is kind of crazy. So, like, it's gotta be... It's for their sake, it has to be good. Otherwise, like, they've completely fucking lost this year.
Did you see, apparently, Madam Web is absolute trash?
Well, I don't know if we talked about this on the fucking podcast before, but I was like, there's literally no reason for me to go see Madam Web. Like, it looks boring. It looks like nothing fucking happens. And it's a bunch of characters that A, I either haven't heard of, or B, they aren't represented like they were in previous media, or C,
sure enough,
that looks bad.
That's 100% what it is what everyone's like issue is with it, is that it's just not good. It's just boring. Like, nothing happens. I don't know. I've seen like
14% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.8 on IMDb, 30% Metacritic.
Yeah,
and yet 43% of Google users like this movie.
Yeah, it's apparently really bad. The dude that I follow on TikTok who like reviews movies said pretty much exactly what Moist Critical said, in that, yeah, you're just like, you basically, for an action movie, there is like no fucking action. Like, nothing happens. Everyone's lines are bad. All the characters are flat. He's like, even the villain is just like, hey, I'm a villain. That's like his entire persona. Yeah,
even Shelby today, when she got home, was like, I've been hearing that Madam Web is incredibly bad. And I was like, this is crazy that you're coming to me, telling me about a movie that's like apparently not good. Because Shelby's usually the kind of person that's like, I'm gonna watch it before I make any comments about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I'll be like, this thing's got a fucking 30% on whatever. I'm not watching this shit.
Yeah. No, it's it's probably really bad.
Mentionable. Budget 80 million USD.
Yeah.
So all they got to get out of this thing is about 300 to get their money's worth.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard, but apparently like a lot of actors, I feel like this is kind of on the actors and their management. Apparently there's a lot of actors that think like Sony, like Sony's movies they're doing of like Madam Web and Morbius, like in those realms. Like apparently a lot of these actors and actresses are confused and think that they're like part of Marvel, like legitimately. And don't realize that like you're not really. You're like kind of like the redheaded stepchild. Like maybe you're being produced like by them a little bit.
I would like to know what the source is for this, because like actors talking bad about a studio like that doesn't happen often. And it would be really interesting to see or hear.
None of the actors are talking bad about it. They just don't realize. So like they're signing up for these movies, not realizing. Like apparently people are saying that they like sign up for these movies and they're out there like tweeting or posting about like, oh, I'm so glad to be a part of the Marvel family. And it's like, you're not actually.
I mean, technically, they're not under like Disney Marvel, but like
no, but still, like they're kind of.
Sony does have Marvel film rights. So.
Yeah, there's definitely not the same sort of care being put into this though.
Well, it's interesting because they're like, oh, well, we have Spider-Man shit, so we can keep making like a Spider-Man universe of movies. And like entertaining the idea that like our characters are gonna have more crossovers with their characters, but what they do is they give like Disney the right to make a movie with Spider-Man, and then oh god, what was that most recent Spider-Man movie with all of the Spider-Mans in it?
Oh, Not Far From Home.
A New Far Home.
Homecoming.
Yeah,
Homecoming?
so Farting at Home did really good because it had like a lot of nostalgia value in it, but it was also a pretty good movie, especially compared to the recent Marvel turnout. So they do that, right? And then they make a movie like Venom, which is almost a decent movie. I think generally people aren't that impressed with it, but like people who really are just like hungry for like Spider-Man character movies, they're like, oh no, it's good, it's real good, swear. But then you get like Venom 2, which is dog shit, and then you get this Madam Web, which is dog shit. You get Morbius, which is dog shit, memeably dog shit. And it's like, you still have to make good movies if you want to build your stupid little fucking Spider-Verse. Like, that's the thing about the animated ones, right? Into the Spider-Verse, multiple Spider-Verse, big multiverse spiders. They're decent movies. Like, the first one's very good. I didn't see the second one, but only because I was, like, dead and done with, like, superhero movies at this point.
Yeah.
I also, dude, I fucking hate when they start bringing in too much multiverse shit. Which, to bring us all back around, is why I'm a little hesitant on, like, getting excited for Deadpool. Because they've brought in the stupid fucking time people from the Loki show, and it looks like the way that they're gonna do the Wolverine stuff is that it's not gonna be like this universe is Wolverine, it's gonna be like XYZ universe is Wolverine, and that's why he's wearing the fucking like classic suit.
Yeah.
So like I'm real fucking hesitant because again, this is under Disney. This is like an under Disney Marvel movie that got made. Mm-hmm. The previous two were free to do whatever they wanted. They were like free to do the R rating. I'm interested to see what the rating is for this one when it comes out. So it's supposed to come out July 26th. So we got a little bit of a wait for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously the casting is good because it's just like Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool again, and he's a good Deadpool. I can't think of someone that would be better than him. You got the man himself being Wolverine still.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
huge
Coming
jacked
on back.
man.
He is. He is a guy. That's a man. He's triple threat. Oh.
This is interesting. While I was looking at the cast and stuff for this, people also ask, is Ghost Rider in Deadpool 3? Deadpool 3 will feature a more comic book accurate universe with characters from the X-Men animated series and Marvel Comics, including Wolverine's yellow suit and Patrick Stewart's Professor X, as well as cameos from Fox Marvel characters. Nicolas Cage will make a cameo as Ghost Rider before the character is recast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
If that's true, I have faith in this movie again.
Yeah. Have you seen that we have our Fantastic Four?
Oh God, isn't it?
It's not John Krasinski. Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, he's so short.
Yeah.
He's so short, dude. Why would they do that?
Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. Fucking.
Dude, and John. Mr. Ski.
Mr. Ski.
He was such. He looked like him. He looks like the character.
Yeah, he does. He was really good for it. I don't know why they didn't just keep him.
I can't believe they're doing Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I think Eben Moss Bachrach is he's a pretty good cast for Ben Grimm. Mm-hmm. Vanessa Kirby for Sue. Joseph Quinn? What has Joseph Quinn been in?
Fucking Stranger Things.
Stranger. Wait, who is he in Stranger Things?
He plays fucking brother of like.
Wait, he's not the bad boy brother, is he?
Yeah, he is.
Wait, he's Eddie Munson.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Eddie Munson?
He's the brother of the redhead girl. No, just Quinn. He's like the punk guy.
Oh, that's right. He played the fucking guitar on the roof.
Yeah. He played Master Puppets or whatever.
Yeah, he played Metal Liquor. Yeah. I don't know. Are you excited for this? Comes out fucking next year, so I'm gonna forget about it before then.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the only bad casting choice for this is Pedro Pascal. Only because he's so fucking short.
Yeah, it kind of sucks too.
I don't see him playing like a really stoic character. Like, you could argue the Mandalorian for this, but like he never takes his helmet off in that, so like you never really see his face.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think he's a good actor. I just don't understand why they would want him to play Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a bad one.
Yeah.
Also, have you heard anything about any Star Wars movies coming out? Because I've heard about a lot of them getting announced, but like, we're not getting any trailers, we're not getting any teasers, we're not getting anything.
Yeah, no, I haven't really heard or seen anything.
Could you imagine owning Star Wars? Like at one point, the biggest fucking fandom, biggest franchise in the world, and you can't make a half decent fucking movie.
Dude, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Just.
Oh, you know what? Pedro Pascal is not as short as I thought he was. He's apparently 5'11", according to Google. I mean, he ain't 6 foot. He definitely ain't 6'4". But he ain't 7'3". Where my boy Spec at? Anyway, I don't know. I guess another argument for him playing like stoic characters is also The Last of Us, but I didn't watch that and I didn't play it, and I got no investment in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think this is going to be like a really bleak year film-wise, apart from I'm excited for Dune 2. I want to watch Dune 2. I am to some degree excited about Deadpool just because that's like the only superhero comics I've ever actually read. Other than that though, the only thing I can think of is like A24 movies that are coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited for A24 movies, but nothing Disney makes has got me excited. I'm really wondering how this Madam Web movie is going to do financially, just because the budget was so low for a movie like this. Like, $80 million. That's pretty cheap. Because fucking, I'm pretty sure the Marvels. What was the budget on that? Oh my god, dude, the budget was $274 million. And it only box officed $206 million.
Jeez.
So this movie that's like technically Captain Marvel 2, right? Oh my god, dude, because what was the box office on Captain Marvel? It was like ludicrously high. It should not have been as high as it was. Yeah, 1.13 billion. Imagine having a basically $900 million difference between your first movie and your second movie's box office. Also made on a significantly cheaper budget. $152 million for Captain Marvel, whereas the Marvels was, again, $274 million, apparently. You put an extra $100 million into the movie to make $900 million less. Oof, dude. Ouch. That's rough.
Yeah.
Although, I guess that's why you're getting comments by fucking Bob Iger. Yeah, Bob Iger saying that Bob Iger blames the Marvel's box office failure partially on lack of set supervision. In a new interview, the CEO also said the company has made too many sequels lately and that waiting for a film to hit streaming is a lot cheaper than seeing it in theaters. So he's blaming He's blaming Disney's own streaming of their movies on why their box office is so terrible now.
Jesus.
Dude, he's a fuck up.
Yeah.
The Marvels was shot during COVID. There wasn't much supervision on the set, so to speak, where we have executives that are really looking over what's being done day after day after day. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that worked really good for Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
Dude, I don't know that there'll ever be a time where I really go back to fucking watching and enjoying Star Wars unless they make some insane changes.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was thinking about it today, I was like, dude, if I wanted to watch something that was Star Wars and just like, it wasn't one of the movies, so like not OG trilogy, not prequels. If I want to watch something that was Star Wars and like really enjoy it, what would I watch? And I was like, Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. Like that's what I would watch.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that I could watch probably like once a year for the rest of my life and be like, this is still that fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was hanging out with some friends over the weekend and we were contemplating whether or not we were going to play Kill Team. And then we were also contemplating whether or not we were going to play this Batman skirmish game that my friend is into. And I was like, man, you know, because they'd been painting these models and stuff, and I was like, man, this is making me want to like get back to painting my models, because I know I only have, looks over at the desk behind me, 5 more snow troopers to paint. And like I'm really close to actually having like an entire army painted and like all of my models for something painted. But we got talking and they were like, oh, like what factions are in Legion? And I was like, well, there's Imperials, there's Rebels, there's Droids, there's Clone Troopers, and then there's like Shadow Syndicate, which is, you know, Darth Maul and the gangs. They were like, oh shit, so I could like get clones and paint them like the old like 2D Clone Wars style. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, you can. And honestly, those are the better paint schemes. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, do I actually, like thinking about, like, Clone Wars, the animated one, the, like, 3D animated one that, what's his name did? Like, even that show is, like, kind of bitter in my mouth now, where I'm like, you know, it had some really good episodes, but I'm never gonna go back and watch it, because I know where it all leads to now, which is like these fucking shows that suck donkey dick. Whereas like the Genndy Tartakovsky stuff is like wedged between 2 of the prequel movies. It's a complete thing. The characters in there all feel honest and true to the characters as they were portrayed on the big screen. And it was also true to the other properties that were coming out at the time. So like, whenever you go back and play the old Battlefronts, you don't have these like stupid regimental colors on your troopers. You've got like specialist markings on them. So your sharpshooter has a fucking red stripe on his shoulder. Your demo guy has the fucking purple coloring. Your jet trooper has green, you know. Your pilots have the yellow markings. And it just, like, all of that is, I think, 1-to-1 the same as in the animated Clone Wars show, the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. And, like, the fact that they were all being honest to each other, like, feels so good. Whereas, like, now I'm like, oh yeah, the 501st all had fucking silly coloring stuff on them because of, what's her name? Ahsoka. And it's just dumb. I'm angry about it. I am absolutely livid. I'm fuming.
Yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe one day they'll start turning out some more good Star Wars. I'm not getting my hopes up, though.
Yeah. I just don't think it's going to happen under Disney. Especially seeing the... I mean, you probably didn't see it, but their, like, script writing standards were leaked.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much thematically, you can only make shows that are about, like, diversity and inclusion now, which is really weird.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is the only thing we're going to make movies about. And it's like, this is the one thing that's, like, people don't want to watch movies about. Not because they don't believe in diversity and inclusion and that kind of stuff, but like it's inorganic and it's disingenuous whenever you're like every single movie you're putting out has the same message and it's portrayed poorly. And it's just like a boring, frustrating thing to be going through as an audience.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm tired. You want to meet on?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, so next week, Scott and I are going to try and surprise you with an A24 movie. We're going to figure out an A24 movie to watch so we can claim we're artistes and we appreciate the finer flavors of life. And then we're also going to watch more Baki. And
more Baki.
I might figure out what episode you're on and watch through it with you. So I've got a little bit more context for what you're going through. But as always, if you enjoyed the music was by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. If you wanted to send in a request or request that we watch something or tell us that our opinions are bad, you can do that at CryptidWorksOfficial@gmail.com or on the artist formerly known as Twitter X at BadPipesPod.
Yeah, you got it. You got it right. That
yeah,
time.
I know. I was hoping I was like, it's about time I learned this. What else? What else we got?
Patreon.
My quote worked out. Patreon. If you're unhinged enough to want to give us like $1 a month, you can do that at patreon.com/badpipespodcast. And that's just to prevent us from ever taking sponsors, okay? We will never take a sponsor if you guys give us money. Give us money that I can spend on new paintbrushes for painting miniatures. Is that it? I think that's it.
Probably. Maybe. Yeah.
Have a good Black History Month, everyone. It's February.
Bye. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.